All right, guys, so we got the Malibu still sitting here up on the quick jacks. I haven't touched it yet, but today's video, we're gonna be taking care of the Camaro. I have a new muffler I wanna put on it just because boost season is upon us and I wanna get this thing back to the track. But one thing I absolutely despise about this car lately, especially when I was going down to the track, is the muffler. That SLP Loudmouth 2 is just obnoxiously loud. There's a shitload of drone on the highway, and driving this thing an hour and a half each way to the track, it's just miserable inside the car. So I went and picked up a Dynomax, biggest muffler I can find. Huge case muffler that's going to fit right across the back. I think it's just about the size of the stock 3rd gen muffler, and we're going to swap the SLP out for that today. So this is the Dynomax that's going on. I did a lot of research on mufflers for what's not going to kill performance and what's going to be quiet and what's not going to have drone. And this one, I think this is the Ultra Flow. Yeah, it's a Dynomax Ultra Flow. This seems to have good ratings as far as performance goes, because if you take a look through there, it goes straight through, and then there's all like baffling material around the outside of the pipe to quiet it down. And with the SLP right now, it's literally the exact same thing. It just goes straight through. They're both 3-inch, except that muffler has a lot more fiberglass and kind of packing material around the pipe, so it should be a hell of a lot quieter. I'm just gonna run the exact same single turn down 3-inch, just like it is now. All right, so I measured exactly 10 feet back from the rear tire. Here's our meter. Car hasn't been started for like a day, so this is a 100% cold start. So after warming up a little and idling down, we're still sitting at like 80 decibels. This is a single 3 right now, which I think it's holding back some power because I have 2 single 3s coming off the headers merging right into 1 single 3. So I think opening this up to a 4 might free up some power, maybe 15-20 horsepower, who knows. So my plan is to get a cutout in here. You look at this, there is a shitload of space. So even with the 4-inch pipe here, I think I'll be able to tee off of it and just kind of have a tailpipe on this side, just like a dead pipe. So I'll have one here, one on the other side that's actually coming out the muffler. Then when you hit the cutout, it'll just kind of come straight out of the cutout side, and I'll have my power at the track, and on the street, I'll have it going through the regular muffler. All right, so we know we're about 80 decibels with the Loudmouth on there, the pretty much straight through bullet muffler. Now let's start it up. No muffler, no cat, just straight pipe. We'll see how much louder that is before we put our quiet muffler on. Slightly louder. We're around 82, 83 decibels at idle. No muffler, straight through. All right, so I had to take a little piece of the old SLP. The inlet and the outlet on the Dynomax is just a little bit too big. So the little 3-bolt flange fitting wouldn't actually slip over it. And I needed to slip over. Normally I would just like kind of press it up against here and weld it at the, just kind of like a butt weld with them pressing against each other. The reason I couldn't do that was because the way that the muffler actually sits with the existing hooker piping, it's not perfectly perpendicular to the gas tank or the well for the hatch. So what I mean by that is if you look under here, this pipe, it's kind of going that way, and even if I pull it over, it's basically going in that direction. It's not perfectly straight. So being this wouldn't fit over here, and I couldn't weld it like that, because if I did, the muffler is going to be going that way and hitting this. I cut this off of the SLP, and now I'm just going to bolt this right back onto here in the exact same orientation, and then we already know this is perfectly straight from the SLP, and our muffler is just going to go right over that. Angle it up a bit. So it's basically like the stock setup, because the old muffler, well, the stock muffler sits right in that spot. It's basically the same size as this. Only difference is this is a 3-inch. So you see what I mean with the angle here? How it's not perfectly straight. That's why it's got to be kind of positioned and welded. But once I get the mufflers on there, I think everything should be relatively perpendicular to the bottom of the hatch. All right, both hangers are on. Tailpipe is in place. I got it tucked away pretty good. I made sure to leave enough space up here because when you really get on it, or when you're at wide open, this whole thing tends to kind of lift up. All right, so remember before, we were at about 80 decibels once it idled down. That was with the SLP. All right, so after idling down, we are substantially quieter, almost a whole 10 decibels. So quiet. I can hear a blower whine. Just the tiniest little bit. Like when I lean into it, you can just barely hear it. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh my God, it is so quiet. It's the air dam scraping. Like when you would kind of lean into it, it would be like somebody's just banging cymbals against the side of your head, just like clap, 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 clap. It's just, It's friggin' awesome. You know you're getting old when you're this excited to have your car be so much quieter. I don't have the radios on, so it's just gonna spin, but night and day difference. Unbelievable how quiet it is. So I don't know how fast I'm going, but normally around 60. In 6th gear, which I'm in now, when you would have to lean into it, like when you come to just a slight upgrade where you don't have to downshift, but you do have to give it some more throttle to kind of get up, that's when it would be the loudest. It would be just this low drone just going through the entire car. Hardly anything now. Oh yeah, this is 100% livable. I could totally take it on a road trip like this. Once I kind of change the seats up and do something with the harnesses, this thing is going to be 100% streetable again. It is so friggin' quiet. And I do not mind one bit. You can actually hear a little bit of the blower when you rev it now. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Get a little kind of whistly whine going on there.